Well, first of all, thank you, Michael, and to the Art Club for hosting this. This should be fun tonight, and I'm certainly looking forward to it. As mentioned, I am T. Michael Tracy. You can find me at tmikey.com and such. I put together a number of paintings, and this crypto thing came out of nowhere in the last few months, and I honestly got swept up in it, and it's very exciting, and I wanted to share it all with you. So, with no further ado, I wanted to start by talking about what happened. You probably heard something about it in the news, maybe. If not, I'm going to go through and then just kind of basically what happened since about December. It really is that new. And from there, there's probably a huge curiosity of like, can I do this too? So I have minted my own NFT and I recorded the entire process. And at the very end, we're going to show you how you too can take any piece of digital art, mint an NFT, put it on for sale, collect other people's NFTs as well. And here we go. So what happened? You probably recall maybe hitting the news just a few weeks ago on March 11th. This is the New York Times. A JPEG sold for 69 million at Christie's, and there's something NFT mania is going on. So what is this all about besides just more foolishness in the art world? They're buying digital. I mean, anybody can copy a JPEG. Why would you spend 69 million for it? And what's an NFT? Long story short, I'm going to give you the full explanation, but an NFT is essentially a digital token, oops, that you can register on the blockchain, like Bitcoin. This one's on the Ethereum blockchain, and it is a unique identifier. You cannot exchange it, unlike a Bitcoin where, I have a Bitcoin, you have a Bitcoin, we swap, and we still both have a Bitcoin. This is more like a painting. If we swap, I don't have the painting anymore. It is a non-fungible NFT, non-fungible token. So they put one of these up for sale up on Christie's. This is the actual sale here. 69 million. Like, oh, okay, okay, so this is nice. Is this like the best piece of art ever? I mean, what is going on here? And if you look at it, we'll take a look at the art itself just a little bit. It's a collection of a lot of smaller pieces, 5,000 of them, in fact, that a gentleman has been putting together one a day for the last, give or take, 13 years. And this is the collection of the whole thing. And if you look further, you'll see like every day is token ID. What's this? What's this gibberish? Wallet address, some crazy computer code here. Non-fungible Jake. Okay. Pixels, that starts to make more sense. Minted on. Okay. Work is unique. Okay. So you take a look at Christie's and you still don't quite have an idea of what's going on, but it's expensive. So what's an NFT? A non-fungible token is a unique digital item created on the Ethereum blockchain. It's created in a digital way to say that the file is an original work attributed directly to the creator, much like in the physical world, much like a painting. Okay, so I'm just going to touch on what's a blockchain, expecting that not everybody understands how blockchain works. I fully don't understand it myself. But you've probably heard of Bitcoin as well over the last couple of years, and blockchain and how it works. And it's basically, you can decentralize certain things, such as in this diagram, where if you have a clearinghouse, everybody has to report into the clearinghouse, and then the clearinghouse puts together what one would consider a centralized ledger of the activities of everyone participating. A distributed ledger, like on a blockchain, everybody involved is connected to everybody else, and everybody else cross-checks the ledger of what's happening where, like a Bitcoin or an NFT, and everybody together validates and authenticates it, and you cannot, it can't really be fraudulent in any way, just because the entire network says what it is. To that point, if it's a digital piece of art, and you copy it or you screenshot it, you run around saying it's mine and it's all mine. Anybody can look it up. It's all online. You can look up on the blockchain. You say, no, you don't. This person does. And that person also has the right to buy and sell and trade. It is their property. It is a piece of property compared to, a screenshot that just anybody could get at any time. And, how do you sell that? How do you collect that? Just touching briefly on how blockchain works, and I won't go into too much depth, but basically a transaction is requested, the block that represents the transaction is created, The block is sent to every node. That's all the computers on the network. All of the nodes, all the other computers, they validate the transaction. Nodes receive a reward for proof of work. That's how people mine Bitcoins. They stay on the network, they do work, and they get Bitcoins. And by doing this, they validate all of the transactions. The block is added to the existing blockchain and the transaction is complete. So it's this entire network validating and authenticating every movement. As this applies to NFTs and artwork, it is for the first time, this is actually a very interesting moment for the first time in digital art, because as mentioned, how do you collect digital art at all? It's had a real problem getting a foothold in something like the fine art world, because again, I can copy it, you can copy it, and art is valued on scarcity. So how do you actually collect it and value it and sell it? If we take a look at just a traditional provenance here, you have who sold it, who bought it, when, just the general history of the thing. By having this all on the blockchain, that is all built in, and it is authenticated and verified by every other node on the blockchain. So we're talking about thousands, hundreds of thousands of other nodes, millions. Everybody who's on that can say, this person is the owner, and anybody can check it. So it actually has a very interesting built-in provenance, which digital art has never had before. It also opens up this secondary sales, which in the fine art world, they've had a real tough time kind of wrapping their heads around that in terms of the law. I want to say I first read about this around 2013, 2014. There was a group trying to change the laws to get royalty sales for secondary sales, meaning basically when a Picasso sells for 300 million at auction, the Picasso estate doesn't see a dime of that. However, if you were a musician, you get additional royalties for the life of the copyright, but visual artists don't get that at all. So I remember reading about in 2014, an artists union trying to change the laws, I think in New York, maybe in California as well, for establishing a law for secondary sales, which kind of gets to the point of just how difficult it can be to make your way in the world as an artist. You sell the thing once, and now you have to make another one and another one. And wouldn't it be great if there was some sort of royalty mechanism? Here in 2018, you can see how far that law got. The court rules they are not entitled to royalties, and that's about as far as I got on that one. It's just not there. With NFTs, because it's all in the blockchain, they can track it, and they can also track sales. So it actually has built-in mechanism for secondary sales. So you go on a lot of these NFT marketplaces, and as you are minting these, you can define when you sell this to someone else, and then that person sells it, and then the third person sells it, and the fourth person sells it for the life of the artwork. Every time it changes hands, you can essentially set your cut. You can get 10% typically, or whatever it is that you want to set for it, for the life of the piece of the art, which is absolutely really amazing, actually. And this is for digital art. Okay, so what's a beeple? Okay, we got this NFT thing. We're getting through some of the vocabulary. So what's a beeple? Beeple is this guy named Michael Winkelmann. I believe he's originally from Wisconsin. He's a graphic designer and animator. You can see his bio here on Wikipedia. Digital artist, graphic designer, and animator, known for using various mediums and creating comical, phantasmagoric works that political, social commentary while using pop culture as references. He's about 40, born 19. Okay. So what makes him so special? Let's take a look at his artwork. This is his page. It's going to take a second to load. It's a little bit of a big one. It's coming, I promise. There we go. So this is his website. And what's this 5076 thing? So he's doing this thing called Everydays, which is actually a trend sort of in digital art just to practice you to get better. You discipline yourself every day. You do a piece. You dedicate yourself for an hour or two or three, and you do a piece. And we've all done that. Anybody who's picked up a paintbrush has probably sat down for a stretch of a week or 2 weeks or just to see how far you can get. We're making something new every day to get better. And he's been doing this for 5,076 consecutive days. And if you look at it, it's all grouped out and you can interact with it, and a lot of fun images, some of them sort of on the sci-fi. These are the more of the recent ones, and they're all 3D modeled. He takes a bunch of models and he kind of mixes and mashes them and puts them together with fun lighting and fun sort of themes. And generally, I enjoy this. Some people probably don't. It's an acquired taste, but I will offer that if there's one thing I truly do like about Beeple's work, besides for just the demonstration of pure discipline, he's been doing this every day for 13 years. He's funny. He's really funny. If this is your sense of humor, he is hysterical. So, okay, what else is going on? Here's his Instagram. Okay. This is recent. He's got 2.1 million followers. Before all this craziness started, he still had a million followers. He was, very popular on Instagram. He was doing work for various fashion lines and graphic designs and movies. So, I mean, he's a working professional. But what's with all this $70 million stuff? So around December, he had this NFT sale, and this is where it kind of caught onto my radar because I was following on Instagram. And over the course of a weekend, he did this NFT sale that raised $3.5 million. And he did this by himself at his computer in his home. The takeaways here being, Beeple sold the most valuable NFT collection of all time at 3.5. This is in December because he broke his own record since then. Prior to joining crypto, he worked in large brands like Nike and Louis Vuitton. The event is likely to attract more artists to the fast-growing NFT space. This part was absolutely true. So what happened in December? And I think the best way to explain this is, again, where I became aware of this. He had a few sales before, but I would say this piece right here, not this single piece, but this video that I'm about to show you, it's about 4 minutes long, and I'm going to play it in its entirety because the person to explain this best is probably Mike Winkelmann, because this is the video he released before the $3.5 million sale in December, showing you what he was doing with NFTs and these strange acrylic blocks. So let me just play this and you'll kind of get a sense.
Hey guys, Mike Beeple here. So yeah, I wanted to explain this crypto art stuff because it's a little complicated, but like once you understand it, it's super fucking dope, and I think will be like a really cool way to sort of like, collect digital art and something that I'm really, really excited about. So let me show you what I got here. So what I'm releasing is the Everyday's 2020 collection, and it's 20 single edition Everydays just from this year, and then 3 open editions. These are the single editions, one of one, that will be auctioned off this weekend. And these are digital displays that, play these videos and they just kind of like loop through the video, and they're just something that like, looks out on shelf or desk or whatever. So this is what the physical tokens look like. And again, these are backed by the blockchain, so you can prove you're the only one that owns them. But they're digital displays. They charge through USB-C. They're instant on. It lasts about 2 hours on a charge, but most of the time you keep it plugged in. Each one has a signed, numbered titanium backplate with authentication markers, so you can, I can tell which are authentic. Yeah, it's definitely just like a cool way to sort of like, kind of passively be able to enjoy digital art in your environment. The other thing that you can do with these is you can kind of like interact with them. So if you go to your phone, go to this QR code, so then you scan the thing and you can immediately bring up information on that piece.
Hey, Michael, we can't really hear any.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. Let me try if I can turn it up. I had checked with Michael to see if you could hear before. Is everybody having audio issues? Just a general show of hands. Okay, then I'll skip along. He's showing these physical tokens, and I would say that this is probably the real stroke of genius here, because he's got these NFTs which are digital, and he has essentially put together. Whoops, pardon me. Let's back that up. He's put together these physical tokens that are in these acrylic cubes, and they're little LCD displays. So again, sort of like what's going on here. He has put together a series where the NFT, he's minted them on the blockchain and has a companion physical piece in these acrylic cubes that are essentially the physical token. And he's doing this to try to bridge the gap behind like, what's an NFT? If I buy this, what am I actually doing? So I'll just make a little physical thing. These digital frames probably cost about $69. And he's incorporated the actual artwork, if you saw, with the QR code, so that you can photograph it. And it brings you to his website and has more information of it. So he's actually integrated this ethereal sort of digital piece of art with something physical. And at that moment, when he put these things on sale, people actually kind of got it. Like the whole "what am I buying" wasn't really a question anymore. He's like, okay, I get it. I'm buying this thing. And we put them all on sale. And here's the nice little acrylic frames. If you're curious, it's a thing called Infinite Objects. You can look it up. It's a service. Anybody can use them. And he put it up on sale. Here is the Beeple 2020 collection. You know, Friday, okay, we're going to do this thing for $1. And with this physical token, base price, $969. He was going to release them. And it comes in this nice box. They're limited editions. They sold out. Multiple editions were sold. This one sold 271 versions, 207. These ones here with the dollar, I believe they were open for a certain amount of time. They sold out, they just got gobbled up. And in the end, he earned $3.5 million on the weekend. Good weekend. So this followed where he, the next sale after this 3 point, of course, that gets everybody's attention. The next sale they was going to have was through a website called Maker's Place, and they had some connection to Christie's, and they were going to do a companion sale with Christie's. So Maker's Place set up this sale after his 3.5 million one. They're going to do a companion sale at Christie's for the big one with everything he's done over the last 5,000 days, and a smaller sale of 105 companion pieces through Maker's Place. And this is the announcement. He was clearly very excited. And here's the big piece, and he's advertising. And before the Christie's sale, one of his earlier pieces, after he sold for 3.5, one of his previous ones hit that secondary market, that thing the artists get 10% of. Somebody who bought one of his earlier pieces flipped it for 6.6 million. He saw 10% of it. That was before the Christie's and the secondary sale launched. So he's having a good 2021 so far. So let's take a look at what he put up on Maker's Place. Here's the promo for the sale, the Everyday Selects. This is in companion to the Christie sale. And it's this nice physical piece with an NFT, nice box. And it's this piece celebrating all these pieces in the the Christie sale. You've got the QR code so it relates to his website. Let's just take a quick look at the video. It's this nice scrolling collection of, I believe, 333 of the 5,000 pieces. And here comes the little tag. I actually find this to be one of the other pieces of brilliance in this. The incorporation of basically a gallery label and a QR code to relate to the website. The marketing behind this is really very engaging and very understandable. I really like it. So here comes the Instagram thing. $1 sale, register now, come play along. It goes on sale, and this is what happens. Beeple crashes Maker's Place by selling NFTs for $1. I was there. I thought this was going to be super fun. It was Saturday, nothing really going on. Let's go to an overhyped crypto auction. Maybe you'll get one. So it goes on sale. Everyone starts clicking buy, 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 buy. They crash the site. Fantastic. I couldn't have asked for a better Saturday night. It was hysterical. So not all the pieces sold. Here's Beeple saying, man, if I had $1 for every time I told them to add more servers. Here's Maker's Place. Sorry for the problem, people. Just to make it up to you, the remaining artworks, we're going to put together a raffle. Everybody who was registered for the sale is going to be randomly selected. More information you can expect. Okay, so there's going to be a raffle to make up for the site crashing. As I mentioned, I was in the raffle, and this is where the story gets interesting. I woke up Tuesday morning. The raffle was on Monday. Tuesday morning, I wake up to this email. My jaw hit the floor. I won. I have one of them. This is amazing. I'm receiving offers. This is the first one that came in for $1,000 for a digital file that I spent no money on at all. This is outstanding. This is blowing my mind. Okay. let's go for this ride. This is it. This is my profile on Maker's Place. This is the 5,000 day select. I have number 47. And you can look at it. It's really fascinating stuff. It's a nice little video. I am the owner, so I can download it. There's a nice little download if I sign in. But this is the thing about being on the blockchain. Anybody can come see this, and you can click on this proof of authenticity, and it's all backed by the blockchain. Here is, you know, creator, Beeple, edition 47, okay, created. Here's, you know, the owner, Beeple. Here's all that provenance stuff. Here's when it happened. We can even view this on the blockchain. Here's the rest of the entire edition. Here's the 105. Here are all the owners. Here, you can view any of these on the blockchain and see all of the provenance on all of them. Let's take a look at the blockchain and see what it actually looks like. I mean, it kind of looks like a little bit of gobbledygook, you know, these long hashtags and people, but this is it. This is a record of it moving through the blockchain. And that's just part of it. So that's interesting. And the memes, they just start coming, you know. You have a real change of heart. This whole NFT, it sounded silly to me for years, and then it starts to gain a little steam, and well, you know, I really like them now. This is what happened. By the end of the day after that auction, somebody had sold the first one, not me, that's for sure. The first one that day flipped for $42,000. First secondary sale. People saw a small percentage of that, and somebody else essentially was given several thousand, tens of thousands of dollars for free overnight. It's a raffle. You have to get a little bit of the crypto lingo. If you're going to come hang out, the crypto lingo crowd, you know, this is the Bitcoin crowd. This is they've been going on a ride for years now. And if you look here, just so you know, if you're going to start playing with this, it's good to have a little bit of a guide. HODL is actually from a drunken rant from several years ago from somebody as Bitcoin was tanking, drunkenly talking on the internet about how he's planning to hold, misspelled it. It's now just, it's a meme. So something like this, you want to HODL, because those who HODL, to get your Lambo. That's how you do it. Within one day, one of those $1 at the end of the day went up for 150,000 to somebody who was named 888. Here's what 888 had to say. It makes it even more special is that the person he bought it from hasn't even told their family yet. They're right now sitting them down to tell them that their life just changed. Thank you, people, for making this possible. Here comes Christies. Remember that Christies sale is just going on. They just had the companion auction. But the week later, during the auction, the Christies sale had already gotten up to about $3 or $4 million. And everybody who had the companion piece is like, well, you know, the Christies sale is going to set the high water mark, and that still has a week to go. So a week later, here comes the sale, which extraordinarily within a few days goes from 4 million to 5 million to 10 million. The day of, it jumps to 20, 30, 50. And when it was all done, fees included $69.3 million for a JPEG. Digital art is here. It has finally been established after decades. It's done. So welcome. It made the Wall Street Journal. And tweets like this started to come out. And I got to tell you, as an artist, I really relate to this. You know, how many times has our art been stolen? How many mood boards have our art? How many times have we inspired visuals? How many screenshots feature our art? How many agencies won clients through decks with our art? Well, thank you to the NFT space for payments way overdue. This is the problem that digital artists have been facing for decades. It's everywhere, but you can't claim any residuals from it. And you never know where it went. This is not the garden of digital art. That would be to ignore the exact same people who've been paving the way for the last 30 years. In the face of it not being easy to sell, show, move, digital artists have persevered, and now the floodgates are open. When cinema happened, the best authors didn't just become directors. When video games happened, the best directors didn't become the best developers. So don't expect the best visual artists to become the best crypto creators. That's not how it works. It's best to be medium native. So I would encourage everybody who has a broad back catalog of oil paintings to photograph them and print them as mint them as NFTs, but that doesn't necessarily mean you will be the best NFT artist, even if you are the best oil painter, which is very refreshing, actually, to just know the playing field is level in a whole new medium. And now this one comes along. This is Mark Cuban. You may have heard of him. He's fairly famous, and he made a very interesting point. I don't think people realize that the real growth of NFT isn't now. Art, music, photos, short videos are the proof of concept and just a beginning. The real growth comes when corporate IP goes to NFT. That changes revenue streams for all companies, large and small. Now, a lot of people are very big fans of Mark Cuban. I'm not an evangelist for Mark Cuban, but I gotta say, he hit the nail on the head here. As art, essentially what it is intellectual property. So where does this go from here? This affects, you know, corporate IP. This affects patents, like in the future. This is how single digital things will be authenticated and validated, whatever they are, because you don't have to just press artwork. Mark Cuban is involved with the NBA. They're big on memorabilia and collectibles. They're minting video clips of LeBron James dunks, and they're going for millions because people just want to own it, and now they can. On the day of the sale, one of his great fans created this sculpture of him. Let's take a closer look. I can't think of a more fitting trophy for the newly minted $70 million king of digital art. Absolutely hysterical. So who bought this thing for $70 million? This is a portrait by Beeple of the anonymous buyer who goes by the name of Metakoven. This is Metakoven as portrayed by Beeple. So what's going on in the mind of somebody who buys a JPEG for $70 million? If you really want to know, the next day he did an interview. It's on YouTube. Look for Metakoven on his $69 million purchase of Beeple's Everywhere. He is very involved in the crypto space, and he's setting up digital museums and really believes in this art form. And he's putting his money where his mouth is, that's for sure. So if you're curious about who buys this and what's on their mind, there's a video and he'll tell you. At the end, Elon Musk got in the action. So Elon comes along, you know, I'm selling this song about NFTs as an NFT, you know, and this is, you know, the Twitter sense of humor. People, I'll give you 69 million for it. And then Elon jokes back that he wants 250M Doge, which again, it starts to sound like a strange language, but that's a different type of crypto coin, which Elon Musk now owns. So Elon would like to be paid in his own coin. Oh, Elon. This brings us to the other part of this. You may have also heard about the environmental concerns. That sort of came about within the last few weeks since the sale. People are pinning this sort of environmental concern on NFTs, and it is a concern and it is a real thing, but I want to stress here that the concern over the environment is actually a product of the blockchain. That's how the blockchain functions. It's been that way the entire history of Bitcoin. If you never knew how the blockchain worked, this is a Bitcoin mining operation. You've got all of these computers lined up doing that proof of work we were talking about to authenticate. So it sounds like a new golden age, and in some ways it is, but please be conscious there is a cost here. This isn't like just printing up 1,000 bumper stickers. Every time you do it, you're firing up these machines. So, you know, be conscious of what you're doing. Because again, it comes down to this blockchain. And what is this nodes receive reward for proof of work? What does that even mean? This is what proof of work is. Give it a look. There's also talk of proof of stake as a way of making it more efficient and less costly. This is all in the works. It really comes down to how the Ethereum blockchain is architected and how people interact with it. So when you hear that NFTs are environmentally damaging, that's a bit of a skewed argument. The blockchain requires several 100,000 computers around the globe to validate itself. And NFTs did not create the problem, but they could exacerbate it. But the problem is actually just how blockchain functions. So keep your eye on this, keep your mind here when you are doing this. When you release a limited series, remember the cost of 10 prints versus 100 prints. The argument is if one artist makes one thing and it's a series of 100, they mint it and it costs energy. But then the collection and the trading over the course of the next year, over the course of the next 10 years, that adds up to, you know, several times the electricity usage of your average household, like for a year, like several times that. So that's the argument. It's all very new. I would recommend that you look into it, but that really is what it is. To that point, I'm going to take the risk of quoting myself. Morally, I'm actually wrestling with the energy cost of NFTs. However, that is being balanced by the fact that artists haven't actually gotten paid since Photoshop made everybody ask, is it real art or did a computer make it? Which is one of those arguments that always kind of rubs me the wrong way. Or maybe try being a photographer after everybody has a camera in their pocket, or try and be a musician after Napster. Digital art actually created a problem, and it actually seems like there's finally a solution. I remember at the beginning of the pandemic, this was going around, and this is generally what artists kind of have to deal with, you know, top 5 essential jobs, top 5 non-essential jobs. Right at the top of the list is artist. You know, that really does kind of slap the artists a little bit, particularly when everybody's quarantined watching Netflix. Who do you think makes all that stuff? Anyway, artists are valuable. Back to the environmental part. So following this great auction and the call for environmental, you know, concerns, the next thing that people did was this, it's called carbon drop. They did an auction where they actually validated an offset of carbon for the auction, and people put in this piece, and they're going to auction it carbon neutral and the money would go to environmental concerns. And what do you know? After it was all done, somebody bought that piece for $6 million. So there's $6 million for the environment in a carbon neutral auction. So the community is concerned about this and conscious about it and doing something about it in the ways that they can. So let's take a look at those marketplaces. So that's what's going on, which is fascinating. So the original auction was here on Nifty Gateway. This is a marketplace for selling Nifties, and we're going to get to, so you want to do it too, don't you? How do you do it? Well, you go with one of these gateways, these marketplaces, and you sign up for an account. Some of them, this is where the rules of the art world kick back in. These are essentially galleries. Some of them are curated, some of them are not. You have to apply. You have to, you know, here's Nifty Gateway. You want to do the exact same thing Beeple did. You come down here to the bottom, you know, create a Nifty with us, and you go through this application. They want a little video. They also kind of want you to have 1 million followers on Instagram, but don't get discouraged. But this is definitely the million followers on Instagram sort of site. They're not all that way. If you look at other marketplaces, here's the other place that that was available that Beeple did his Christies drop in. This place is called Maker's Place, and it's the same thing. It's curated. You apply, you show them your work, you give them an introductory video. If they like your work, they bring you on board. There's also, just in terms of lowest barrier of entry, and for this talk, I want to talk about just getting people to try it. What is actually the mechanism to do this? So this is OpenSea, and in terms of the lowest barrier of entry, I would say start here. If you just want to mint an NFT and put it on sale online, you can do this with, you know, a couple hours on the weekend. You don't have to apply. You just set up an account, but you do have to get into crypto. All of this stuff is bought and sold using the Ethereum cryptocurrency. So how do you get some of that if you've never tried some before? You're going to want to go to this. This is, again, the lowest barrier of entry. There are other ways to buy crypto. You can go to Coinbase if you're actually investing it. You can move $50,000 of your bank account into crypto, and that's how you really invest in. And that's in Coinbase. Before going that far, this is a plugin that you can put on Google Chrome. You can see here, this is my little MetaMask plugin here, and you can actually incorporate this into Google Chrome. Go to MetaMask and you download it, or look for the Google Chrome MetaMask plugin, and that is your crypto wallet. It will work in your browser so that when you go to these marketplaces, it'll ask you to sign into your wallet. So it's all very browser based. Okay, so back to OpenSea. We got our wallet. I got my little wallet up here, and we're back to OpenSea's. and I go to my collections up here. And the first thing it's going to do is it's going to ask me to sign into my wallet. So I click sign in. I got to put in my password. Okay. And now I'm back here and I'm signed in. Okay. So now I want to create something. I'm logged in. I got my wallet set up. So I click create and wait, I don't have any money. I don't have any Ethereum in my wallet yet. I've set it up. I don't have any. So this is interesting because you can actually just buy it here. It's not necessarily the best rate. You can time it. The price of Ethereum changes over time, along with what's called the gas fees, basically the transaction fees. So let's go to the purpose of, let's click buy, and the next thing it'll bring you to is Ether. If you have some, you can deposit some, or you can just continue this and just buy some with your bank account. So you click on that, and you'll go to send wire, $0. Here's your wallet address. You type in how much you want, $150. That'll translate into 0.08 of an Ether. Here's your exchange rate, the transaction fee, the network fee. Put in your bank account number. Credit card, I haven't found credit card works. They want a debit card, like actual cash moving. So you put in all your information. This is good, so it's secure. They will ping your credit card with one of those like 10-cent fees and then ask you to verify the number on that transaction so they can verify your bank account. That's a nice touch. You put all that in, it's processing your order, and congratulations, you now have 0.018, which is about 150 bucks worth of Ether in your wallet. So let's go back to OpenSeas. I've got some money in my wallet. I've got OpenSeas. Click on create, and you come over here to your collections. So let's click on create, and you'll get this window. You want to add a little logo. You can actually set up a little shop. It's actually very nice. Come over here. We have this little, let's drag and drop. What are you minting? You have to drag and drop that JPEG or that photo or that video. So I spent the weekend putting this together. And yes, I completely boosted this from Beeple because I think it's really, really well done. When presenting a flat image this way, it's very engaging just to put in a nice little video pan and zoom. Particularly for a small thing, it is nice to be able to zoom in on details. The presentation is very nice. And then again, the addition of this gallery card. You don't have to do this. People are NFT minting GIFs from nothing. But if you're going to do this artistically, it is nice to actually put something out there you're proud to have your name on. And some of these interactions here, this will link to my website where I can manage the pieces that I've minted, a little bit about when it was minted and when it was created. I actually made this in 2013, but I only minted it in 2021. That's kind of interesting. So you drag and drop it in there. It's in there. Okay, what next? Let's add a little preview image. Sure, here's another JPEG. Let's put in a nice description. People can read about it. That's all the nice stuff about the dimensions and all that kind of stuff. And at this point, you can only mint one of them. That's one of the things about OpenSeas. Other places are different. You can do the crazy additions, but right now, you're just going to do one. Okay. Please wait. Okay, it's been created. Okay, we can visit this or we can sell it, but it's there. So this is what it looks like on OpenSeas. But if you look, I still have this thing. I'm not selling it yet. I've created it. I've put it up there, but I still have to sell it. So when we click on sell, we get to this area where you can set your sales method. Do you want to set price? Do you want a highest bid? Do you want to bundle this with others to sell? What's your minimum bid? All those sorts of things. You put this all together, the expiration date, and you post your listing. You can also set your fees down here. Whenever this sells, OpenSeas is going to get 2.5%, and I set myself up for a 7% resale. So what if this sells elsewhere? Secondary sales. Now this is down at the bottom of the page, and this is very important. Particularly for OpenSeas, is decentralized, so we never escrow your account. As a result, this will be the first time setting up your crypto, and you need to create 2 free plus gas transactions, like free plus gas. Gas is the fee that you have to pay to all of the Ethereum miners to validate this on the blockchain. You have to do this to set it up. Other places you have to do this every time you move it, but OpenSeas has set it up so that you only have to do it once, which if you just want to practice, this is good. So I'll show you this first time around. I had to pay for it. But then the second time around, I just uploaded it, put in a description, and you can just go. So you really, on OpenSeas, you only have to pay for it the first time, apparently. So let's initialize your account. Here we go. Here's the gas fee, $82 for the transaction. Confirm. Okay, that just cost me $82. So again, this isn't doing bumper stickers for a dime each. You have to commit to actually minting an NFT. And here's the transaction fee, another $9. So this is costing just shy of $100 to do this for the first time. And remember, the second time and the third time, they're going to charge me it all. So we put this together, listing your item, signature request. They want me to sign this with my wallet. So it is now signed in my wallet. It is in my wallet. I own this, verified by the blockchain. And here's the live page. This is my piece on OpenSeas, and you can go here and you can buy it. And you see the nice video preview. It's actually another very nice presentation. You get the description and, you know, sales history, bid history. Here's created from a null address by me, and then it was moved in here by me. So that's all well and good. And then this worked out so well. Like I said, I did a second one. So here's my second one. So I now have 2 NFTs. I did this weekend. It cost about $100. I could do a third and a fourth. It wouldn't cost, but I'd still be here on OpenSeas. So let's take a look at my little gallery. I set up a little gallery, put in a little image, and here are my 2 pieces. And these link back to my website. And it's all very professional if you want to take it that direction. So if you want to talk about this more, who do I talk about this with? You can just kind of poke around the internet, and you can Google Beeple and you can Google NFT, but where do you actually go to find these people who are actually involved in this? I would like to invite you to this Discord channel. If you've never used Discord, it's essentially it's a chat application. Download Discord and go to this address. This is the address I'm sending out to all of you to join. This is the Discord channel for the Beeple collectors. There's a great crowd of people who are interested in art, in investment, in NFTs, in crypto, in technology. There's a very rich community around this. And it's also a place to figure out, well, what is the current price of these things? If you are a trader and a buyer and you want to, you know, I want to get my hand on one of these Beeples, you can go to the marketplaces, but you can also go and talk with the owners just like the real art world. You can start sending emails and negotiating a price and, you know, being a buyer and a seller, and come talk to this crowd. And again, remember, if you hodl, you get your Lebo. And with that, that is about my talk, and I will open it up to questions. And I would also ask that take a look at me at @TMikeTracy at Instagram and Twitter, and follow me, because I typically use that stuff for friends and family, but I finally found a use for 1 million followers, so I can get on some of those other platforms. So help me get onto some of those other platforms, and thank you so much. With that, I'll leave it to Michael for opening it up to question.
Great. Thank you so much, Mike. I appreciate that. That was very thorough. So the first question was from Lois, who asked if you could talk a little bit more about the wallet that you were describing. Does that just apply to that one platform, or could you go more into detail about that a little bit?
That applies to, let me actually open up the actual site. That applies to any cryptocurrency. So that'll work for Bitcoin, it'll work for Ethereum, it'll work for Dogecoin. It is a cryptocurrency wallet. So any cryptocurrency will work with a MetaMask wallet. So let me, MetaMask, if I can spell. So you go here. I believe this might actually lead you to an app, but there's also a Google Chrome plugin. I highly recommend the Chrome plugin. That's what I have here. So if you're interested in just, you know, buying some Bitcoin, MetaMask will work for that too. Or if you're interested in just buying Ethereum, this works for people who are just investing in cryptocurrency. NFTs, which are on the Ethereum blockchain, you need a Ethereum wallet capable of holding Ethereum to be able to hold an NFT. So MetaMask will serve that purpose. There are many, many wallets out there. MetaMask is pretty standard one. But there's several. I went on like the App Store and Google Play, and I downloaded a few and I tried them out. And some of them, you click buy and they don't quite connect to the network and they hang forever. And some of them have really high fees and all that kind of stuff. Just as a low barrier of entry, MetaMask is very user friendly, I've found. So that would be the first place I would suggest starting. After that, take a look at the fees, see if you can find a better deal, download 5 or 10 crypto wallets. You're looking for crypto wallets. And try them out, try buying, $20 worth of Ethereum, see what the fees are, see what the prices are. You can go on, in terms of the fees, you can go on like a stock exchange and just look for the price of Ethereum and watch it go up and down. During this whole Beeple auction, it rose tremendously with all the new interest in the new artists flooding into the space. So yeah, this will work for more than just, it'll work for all the marketplaces. It'll work anywhere, NFTs are accepted essentially.
That's great. Another question came in from Nancy, who said, just curious, what did you do with your Beeple that you won?
So far, the NFT is right where I left it, and I plan to shortly increase my security. It's very secure at the moment, but I have also purchased one of these. This is the Nano Ledger S. This is a hardware wallet. I can plug this into my computer and I can take it off of the Ethereum network or off of my computer essentially. Right now my computer is the wallet, and I can put it on this and I can put it in a safe and I can hide it away. And that's the NFT part. The physical part, the word is that an email will come from Maker's Place within 4 to 6 weeks from the sale. And they will ask for your address and they'll be mailing those out. So I'm expecting it will be arriving within a month. And that is an excellent question to ask, Nancy, because that leads us to the interesting part. I have asked and confirmed with the Art Club that just to do something special during all of this, this really is a monumentous event just for digital art in general. When it arrives, I plan to go to the Art Club and we're going to do an unboxing of the Beeple, the physical part, and have a video of it and put it on YouTube and share it. So this is what it's like to have one of these things and open it up. We're going to do an unboxing video. YouTube loves those. And we're going to do it at the Art Club because they've been so kind to host.
Thank you, Mike. Another question from Catherine was that she missed the last couple letters of the Discord link. If you could, you can either put that in the chat, Mike, or if you give it to me, I can send it to everyone in an email so that they can have that as well.
So
there you go.
This slide deck, which I have put together, after this meeting, I've been putting the slides together all day. I'm going to put this up on my website. This is an HTML slideshow. So I'm going to put this up on my website. I'm going to give Michael the address and he can email out everyone who came to the actual link to this actual slideshow, and you can click through it on my website, and this will be online. I'll also include this link for Michael. So, you will get this information as well as the links within it shortly. I'll share this with Michael and he can share this out. So
that's great.
I see some people taking screenshots. You don't have to worry too much. You'll get an email with all the information.
And then if everyone's looking in the chat, Lois also put the link in the chat. Thank you for doing that, Lois. Cynthia had another question, which was, is MetaMask comparable to Coinbase?
Coinbase is an exchange, not a wallet, to my understanding. You would need a wallet to get money from Coinbase and put it in your wallet, something like MetaMask. Coinbase is closer to Wire. When we were in MetaMask and you clicked on buy, it brought you to a new website called Wire, and Wire is the cryptocurrency exchange. That's where you can exchange dollars for cryptocurrency. So Wire is an exchange. Coinbase is an exchange. Coinbase is, I believe, registered with the state of New York. I think they were like the first ones to do it. And Coinbase was the exchange that the Christies sale went through because it's all regulated financially. So it's legit. So exchange is Coinbase and MetaMask would be a wallet. So if you go to Coinbase and you get it, you would need a wallet, MetaMask, to put the cryptocurrency into. So that's sort of the difference between exchanges and wallets. That's
great. Thank you, Mike. A lot of the other comments in the chat are thank yous from everyone. Thank you. So Riley put in the chat, have you heard of Rainbow Wallet? I bought Ethereum with it and was wondering if that is good to use or should I try to move to MetaMask?
I have not heard of Rainbow Wallet. I would certainly look into it. I've never used it, so I can't speak to it. It may or may not be what you're looking for. I can really only speak to MetaMask because that's the only, it's all very new. That's the only one I really have any experience with so far. So I wish I had more information, but after this, I will certainly look into Rainbow Wallet. And if you'd like, I can forward my thoughts on it to Michael. If you're having any problems with like buying or selling on it, I would say just throw it out immediately. You know, if it doesn't work, which some of them don't, they'll try to buy cryptocurrency and it'll just hang forever. At which point, just take it off your phone and try another one. But if you're not experiencing that problem, I'd be curious to hear what you have to say about Rainbow Wallet.
Another several thank yous. Thank you. And then Riley asked, is there a way to know if your art is worthy of NFT sales, or is it what kind of art is a good fit for NFT sales?
I suppose that really does come down to the artist.
That's a
I
big
mean,
question.
at this point in time, it is a little absurd. People are making NFTs out of everything. People are making NFTs out of tweets and selling it. I would say if you are an artist and you are making art, your art is worthy. If you want to publish it, publish it. That is, you want to put it on the wall and you want people to see it, you do it. End of story. People are also publishing a lot of nonsense, you know, just to get it out there to go make $70 million. It's like everything you would expect. But absolutely, this is something that artists should be embracing, and they should be doing it soon. This is how this will be done in the future. So I would say, yes, consider your art worthy, put together a nice presentation. Don't just, you know, like what I did there. I made a nice little like video thing of it with a nice thing, like, you know, just don't throw it out there to get it out there as if this was a gallery wall. Take some time and put together something nice that you want to point at and say, that's me. So yeah, I'd say it's worthy.
That's nice. Thank you. That's very nice, Mike. And then Riley said, thank you so much. This has been very helpful. Valeska asked, what is the value of your Beeple edition of 150 after auction? Have any of those smaller editions from that same raffle come up at auction yet, or for a public sale? Do you know?
They're always, unless somebody puts a thing that says not for sale, you can go to
People are
Maker's
always making
Place.
offers, yeah.
And you can find them online. You can find them at, some people they're still on Maker's Place. Some people put them on OpenSeas. You can transfer them. Some marketplaces will let you move from one to the other. Some of them say no, only artists. In terms of the current sales, again, you can check out the Discord for what is currently what's going on, and that changes every minute of every day the second anybody offers anything. But the current high water mark for sales on those is approximately 200,000, give or take. That's the high part, you know, 6 figures, and it's been less than a month. So again, treating it like a Picasso, imagine this in a year, you know, it's the companion piece to the Christies sale. It's artistically, the price of Ethereum can rise and falls, but artistically it's already made its mark. So treat it like an art piece.
Does anyone else have any questions? Oh, thank you, Cynthia. So Cynthia asked, what credentials is Maker's Place wanting in order to apply?
Credentials. Let's see. Let's just take a look at Maker's Place. They have a piece right on their website where it's like, you know, are you a creator? Work with us, and they want, you know, your website, your Instagram. I believe a brief introductory video. Drop, sell your creations. Enter your email to submit. Join our rapidly growing proof of ownership. If you scroll through this, you will find, you know, are you a creator? Create with us. Company help mission. It's in there. Follow us in there. Sell your work. Sell your work. All right, same thing. So give them your email, and they'll ask for your website, your Instagram, and a brief video. I believe they want a video, an introductory video. So take out your phone and say, hi, this is who I am and what I do, or put together like a nice video, put it up on a Google Drive, and you send them the link. And that's what they're looking for. And I believe Nifty Gateway is the same.
That's great. Thank you, Mike. Lois put in the chat, does it always have to be physical art, or can digital files work as well? And basically what you're saying is that most of the items that are coming up as NFTs are originally digital, and it would be sort of unusual for something to be like a painting that someone had made into an NFT. Is that right?
A little, actually, yeah. The actual thing that you are buying and selling is the NFT, which is a little difficult to get your head around when you think about it, which is why I point out people's success. If you're asking, you know, why him and not me kind of thing, like there are a couple of moments where he put together that physical token to actually bridge that gap of this digital physical disconnect of what am I buying? And he put it in a little frame, you're buying this. And it was so well done that it didn't matter anymore. People got, okay, I'm buying this, and they got the NFT along for the ride. So you don't have to have a physical token. It's essentially a very nice, you know, secondary asset, a very nice essentially marketing or a bonus, you know, come a free beer with every purchase kind of thing. But have no doubt those things are certainly generating value on the secondary market as well. But no, you don't have to. In fact, that is far less common. People are just minting NFTs, and only a handful are doing companion physical pieces, but it is a very interesting sort of new landscape to explore.
For sure. Yeah, there's so much to, at certain points, it is sort of like learning a second language, I think. You know, we're all like, whoa, like what's going on here? It's sort of interesting. So if anyone has one last question, please put it in the chat and I'd be happy to ask it for you. We're coming up on our 7 o'clock hour here. And if you have a question afterwards that you forgot, please email me and I can follow up with Mike and ask him for you. So Mike, do you have any parting words of advice for everyone about this, about how, you know, what's the best way to like follow what's going on with NFTs, do you think? Is there one good place that someone can go to keep up with the news on this?
Honestly, for years, I have resisted Twitter and Instagram, but so far those are the best places I have found. Go to Twitter, go to Instagram, follow people, do a search for anybody that has NFT in their hashtags or whatever, and just start following people. The chatter that is currently going on is lively, and they're talking about it every day, and people is still out there doing stuff, and every time he has an auction, he had a surprise auction just last night at like 11:30. Surprise, if you're going for the raffle right now. So like, it's a very active community, and I would encourage you to be a part of it. So Twitter, Instagram, the different marketplaces, set up an account, buy some pieces. If you actually start buying pieces, people will definitely pay attention to you. If you start publishing, you know, people will certainly pay attention. If you start speaking to them on Twitter and Instagram, that would be how you engage, as well as that Discord link where there is a Beeple-centric NFT community to talk to.
That's great. Great advice. Thank you so much, Mike. And thank you for a very well-researched presentation. Lots of information to think about and consider, and like it's a whole new world out there. And I thank all of you for joining us tonight. Like I said, we are recording this, so I will have that recording available for you all. And Mike will send me some of the resources that he included here, as well as the slides, so I can pass those along to everyone. I thank you again for joining us. Please follow the Art Club and follow Mike, and visit the Art Club's website, providenceartclub.org, to see some of the other events that we have coming up. But thanks again, everyone. Thank you to Mike, and have a great night.
Thank you.
Thanks.